Didn't have their computers closed. Computers closed. The other day I told y'all that one of the things changing in the third quarter was now we're able to give more minor grades, right? This is not a gotcha moment. It is an expectation moment. Your first minor grade of third quarter is today. It is a bell ringer. It is a bell ringer that requires you to write a well-formed paragraph. Okay. Now, a well-formed paragraph has 5 to 8 sentences. If you don't give me but one sentence, I'll get that. 5 to 8 sentences. One main idea of the sentence. 3 to 5 supporting details. One conclusion. Stuff we've went over 100 times, right? Now, when you do this today, I can go ahead and tell you, again, this is not a gotcha moment. There's 2 ways to make a bad grade. 2 ways to make a bad grade. First way, don't do it. Well, that's obviously a 0, right? The second way is to not do it with effort. If you know that I am asking you to write 5 sentences and you write me 1, would you consider that good effort? No. Good, because you would not make a good grade. Does everybody kind of understand me? I'm expecting effort. Now, we have talked a lot about writing paragraphs, but we haven't really dove deep into it yet. Right? So now we start. So that being said, no pressure as far as making sure that your periods are right, your commas are right. We will get to that. Right now, I'm making sure that the content is there. The thought process is there. You mean yep if you got it?
Yep.
Okay. All right. The prompt is, first off, anybody in here, and I can't say word for word. Anybody ever heard the saying, you reap what you sow?
Yeah.
Anybody not heard it? Like, okay, I've never heard that crazy saying. Okay. What does it mean? Say it out loud from the camera. You get what you put in. Both the word reap and the word sow are both old farming terms. You know, once upon a time, like my grandparents, so your great grandparents, a lot of people farmed for a living. It wasn't a Walmart or a Piggly Wiggly on every corner scene, right? A lot of people, what they ate was what they grew or what they killed. Okay? And if a farmer and his or her family, if they had a good crop, well, then they ate year round. If they didn't, winter got really tough. It was a survival thing, right? Okay, the word sow means to plant. Now, if a farmer went out and did everything he was supposed to, work as hard as he was supposed to, he worked smart, he worked hard, did everything the right way as planned. You're supposed to plant green beans and peas and corn on this date, so he planted them on this date. You know? Put the right kind of fertilizer on, gave him the right amount of water. Everything that he or she was supposed to do, he or she did. When it is time for the plants to come in and for you to harvest the plants, that's what reaping means to harvest. Okay? When it was time for that farmer to go get his or her crops, do you think that there would be a good crop? Yeah, now there's things beyond our control, right? But put in a good effort, get a good return, right? You had another farmer who, got started a couple of weeks late because he just got lazy. Decided he wasn't going to use any type of fertilizer this year because he just didn't feel like going out there and doing it. When it comes time to reap his benefits, to gather his crops, do you think that he's going to have as good of a crop? No. So you reap, you harvest what you plant. What you put in comes back. Several kids have called it karma in here. Good with that. The question is simply this. What that prompt is asking me is, do you believe that the actions that you put in, the preparation that you put in, do you think that it produces the benefits or the consequences that you receive from them? Now, to me, it's an obvious answer. The obvious answer is yes. But if you want to tell me no, I'm okay with that. Because remember, you don't have to agree with me. I'm okay with that as long as you do what? If I remember, you don't agree with me, what you got to do? Back it up. You got to back it up. Okay? Even if you agree with me, you got to back it up. That's what you're supposed to do. Right? Now, when I get finished talking in just a second, I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes. After this 15 minutes, you're done with this assignment for this class. I'll open it back up again for you if you need to go like that. Does anyone have any questions on what you're supposed to do? Go ahead and get started. You got 15 minutes and then we move on. Again, not a gotcha moment, guys. This assignment matters big time. 15 minutes starting now. It is on a timer. You will hear it go off. Got your computer working yet? Okay, good. Okay, the second part of the assignment for today is an assessment that is in Schoology. It's on poetry. Okay, now please understand, y'all know with me missing a couple of weeks that we are behind a little bit, right? We are supposed to have a major grade tomorrow. We will have it by the end of the week. Okay. Now, what you're going to do today is kind of setting up for that major grade. Ain't no kind of to it, it is. Y'all understand me, right? All right, let me go over what it is. If I can get that out of the way. All right. Inside of today's Schoology, you've got the well-formed paragraph. Y'all have already done that, right? You've also got the poetry fine assessment. Now, that's where you're actually going to do your schoolwork today, yada, yada, yada. We all know this, right? Let me click in it. Let me show you what I want. Now, mine's going to show up a little bit different. Y'all, somebody's already doing it. Oh, actually, this is a different class. It doesn't matter because y'all's is the same thing, okay? There's 3 questions. Mine looks a little bit different than y'all's does because mine's the teacher view, where y'all's is the student view, but you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Right here you have poem 1 for question 1. There are 5 things that I want you to list. I want you to click on the provided link to the, I want you to copy and paste the URL of a poem. You're going to go to a couple of different poetry sites that I'm providing for you, or honestly, I don't care if you go to one on your own, and you're going to find a poem, actually you're going to find 3 poems that you can relate to. I learned a long time ago not to try to shove poetry down 8th graders' throats. Part of what we got to do, I think that Robert Frost is an absolutely amazing poem, but he's a little bit deep. And some folks just don't like deep. Don't understand what I'm saying? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to give you an introduction that will be unique for you to where you won't hate it. Make sense? Okay. Does everybody know what a URL is? All right. Lee, shut off those lights real quick where it shows up good. Ah! Now that I'm sharing it, that little screen keeps coming down. This information up here, this is the URL. All of this stuff, I mean, you got Schoology right here, and then Common Course, and all these numbers, and all of these numbers right here, and the specific order that they're in, can only carry you back to this page right here. Okay? That's why URLs are so long sometimes, because you can imagine how many pages there are on the internet, right? When you go to one of these websites and you find a poem that you like, it will have a significant URL for that poem itself. Copy and paste it. Everybody know how to copy and paste?
Yes.
Anybody not know? Copy. Come back to the assessment. Number 1, period, right click, paste, done. Right? I don't need you copying the poem. I don't need you writing the poem down. I just need you copying the URL. 2 reasons for that. A, that keeps you from bullcrapping me, making stuff up. Second thing, if I like your answers, I very well may go and look at the poem myself, because I actually do like poetry. Hold on. Let me get my instructions first. Second thing I need is the title of the poem. Third thing I need is the author of the poem or the poet. The fourth thing I need is, honestly, one of the only 2 pieces of real work you have to do on this. I need you to summarize what the poem is actually saying. Plain talk. What's that poem saying? What does it mean? 2 to 3 sentences of you just giving me your word summary of what that poem means. Okay? The last thing, figurative language, similes, metaphors, hyperboles, personifications, imagery, allusion, and alliteration, I think is what the 7 are that we're working on right now. There will be some poems that don't have any of these. There will be some poems that have every one of them. There will be some poems that have 100 similes and some poems that have 3. Some poems that have 6 metaphors, 2 hyperboles, 3 personifications, and none of the rest of them. Every poem is unique. That is the reason that I want you to try to find them. Our test later on in the week is mainly going to focus on these literary devices. Okay? Now, let me get out of this assessment real quick and let me go back. The other things that I have inside of today's folder, you have the figurative language definitions. This is for your benefit. I don't want you worrying about or scrambling around trying to find out what is a simile again. Shame on you if you don't already know. But again, here are the definitions of the 7 terms that I am using. I put these in there, guys, for your benefit. If you're reading that poem and you're doing what I ask you to do and you see something, I think that's a metaphor. Hold on, what was a metaphor again? Go back here and look at it and see if it fits the definition. By the way, is it okay if you get one wrong? Yeah, it is. Sure it is. I'd rather you get them wrong because you're questioning everything than not try to find any whatsoever.
But what if you really don't want to get them wrong?
Then work extra hard to make sure you don't, I guess. But if you're going to live your life like that, good luck, my brother. Anyway. No, we know. We know you're going to get stuff wrong, Lil Rick. Oh, that hurt, huh? All right, guys. Y'all know me with technology, right? So for whatever reason, when I tried to put links in to these different websites, it didn't work. And then I got in the first block this morning, or second block this morning, and when I was showing these 3 different websites down here inside of this discussion, I had some kids like this. Allpoetry.com is probably the best one of the 3 sites to go to, in my opinion. I had some kids that it was blocked for them and some kids it wasn't. I don't understand that, but just deal with it. Here's the deal. I mean, let me just be real honest with you. This is meant to help you, giving you these 3 different websites. But if you're blocked on these, go to Google, type in poetry sites. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
What do we actually do?
Here's what you're going to actually do. I'm fixing to show you. This is poetry.com. Up here, everybody knows what a search bar is, right? Sports. Here's all kind of stuff on sports. You can type in roller coasters. You can type in boyfriend, girlfriend. You can type in Black Lives Matter. You can type in hunting. You can type in fishing. You can type in kite flying. And if there's a poem that deals with it, you can find it. I tell you this, guys, because I'm not trying to give you some cookie cutter exercise. You can find what you want. Now, here's the thing. Do not forget that you are 8th grade students. You are 13 and 14-year-old young ladies and young men. You don't have the freedom and the rights inside of this schoolroom to put anything you want. If you put something inappropriate trying to be funny, by all means, when I read it, I very well might laugh. And right after I get finished laughing, I'm going to write you up and I'm going to call your parents.
Maybe worth the laugh.
Oh, well, I got a sense of humor. And I'm old enough for it to be okay. I mean, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
I mean, just please remember that you're a student, okay? Whatever you're into, guys, whether it be sports or fishing or hunting or whatever, type it in and see what poetry might matter to you.
You really don't know if there's like I meant this video game.
Type in video games.
I meant to
Then Brendan, if that doesn't work, type in something else. This is part of doing your own little research. No, you've tried for 5 seconds. No, keep on. Do something else. Do something else. Do it a different way.
You want to start it though?
Yeah, go now. You got like 15 minutes left in this class.